going to ask Valentino to come up here with Grant, and we're going to do a question and answer session. Valentino has made his way all the way from Italy to be with us. Okay, Valentino's here. Please take a seat. Valentino, where's Granty? Here you go, bud.
I said I wasn't talking until tomorrow night, so I will keep this short. I haven't even said anything yet, geez. I will claim it. So I met Valentino about 5 years ago when we first went over for the first president's meeting, and it was a very special moment to get to meet him. And then I met him the year after, and then we were invited out for his 50th anniversary with the factory, where we took 11 members of the club over, and every night for those 4 or 5 nights there, Valentino shared stories of his time with the factory, testing vehicles, developing vehicles, and then he would come to each country and share dinner with us, which was quite special. And then when we were working on this rally, I had an idea to bring out Valentino and share him with you guys the same way we experienced it. And I think there's no better person to have brought an event like this. You know, when I spoke to a guy called Gabriele, who's our contact between Lamborghini and the club in South Africa, I mentioned to him Lamborghini, and he was like, Valentino, and he was like, Valentino's not with the factory, let me talk. And I was like, no, there's nobody else I'd rather have to come out and share the history of Lamborghini with us, because the club today isn't a club that's just Huracan invented, or the club goes further back to where the brand started and what makes the Lamborghini what it is today. There's years and years of history in the brand. And I want Valentino just to share with us his journey through Lamborghini, and a few stories like he shared with us the other night, that one about testing the Diablo, for example, that type of story, and let them live your life a little bit through the mic. So we look forward to hearing it. Thank you, Valentino.
First of all, thank you very much, everybody. It's my 3rd time here in South Africa. It's always an emotion to be here, and I was astonished to see, how this event is going, how fast you drive, guys. It made me sweating keeping on you. It is amazing, the enthusiasm and the devotion you have for Lamborghini Automobili, and this makes me, very proud and very happy to see that what we did many years ago is highly considered on the product of today. Today you drive beautiful cars. I was so happy to see a couple of beautiful vintage Lamborghini, a Countach 400 GT, a Diablo. Cars from my times, real my kids, Even today the Huracan, Aventador, Urus, there is modern product, but they have the same, roots of my kids from my times. It's I'm not used, despite so many years, to have this microphone on my hands. Make me embarrassing. I feel much better behind the wheel, even if it's on the wrong side of the road for me. But anyway, I am happy, and thank you very much for your devotion to Lamborghini, and I will try to keep on doing what I did all my life for Lamborghini, and I will do as long as I can. I started in 1968 at Lamborghini Automobili as an apprentice after the school, because my dad wanted me to do something to bring some income to the family. And since the priest of my village was born in Sant'Agata, and he was, the priest of my village always lifelong, one day I was playing table soccer, with a friend of mine at the church, and he came to us and he said, I need to go to Sant'Agata to see my parents. if you want to join me instead of don't staying here playing, you can come with me. So with the priest and my friend, we decided to go to Sant'Agata, which is half of an hour's drive from where I lived still today. So he was driving a Fiat 500, smelling oil, burning oil. I mean, and the priest, the guy was, he had so many accidents. I was really afraid to drive with him. Anyway, when we passed in front of Lamborghini, it was a truck downloading Mura bodies coming from Torino, from Bertone company, painted, and you know, this driver was downloading the cars from the truck. So he told to the priest, oh, stop here, I want to see those beautiful cars. And and then the priest picked me up when he was coming back. Anyway, I went through the gate of the company, everything was open. Today you need badges and security and the ID, whatever, but those times everything was open. So he was looking at those beautiful Mura bodies, and the guy comes from the two buildings on those days, comes out a guy, and they start pushing inside the bodies, the bodies, you know, the cars. Not assembly, it was on a trolley. So I start helping him, pushing the car. And when we push the second, the third, and the fourth, the guy stays inside, and I have to come out by myself. This is when everything happened, because the man at the gate, the only man taking care of the whole company, you know, because everybody was going through that door, he started yelling on me. Who are you? Why are you coming in and out from the company? I don't know you. I mean, it was really very, very tough on me and very, very, you know, it was making me feeling very bad. And after a couple, despite he saw everything, because, you know, pushing the car in and out, we just went in front of him. So, in other words, after a couple of minutes, he started laughing, smiling, and he said, fill up this employment form. So I started filling up this employment form, and at a certain point I didn't know what to answer on the questions. He said, don't worry. And I said, well, here's a picture. I have no picture with me. Don't worry, we'll take care of everything. And this was April '68. And after a week, I've got a letter from Lamborghini Automobili saying to go for an interview. And this was a week after. Then me and my friend sitting in front of the office, it was April 21st, 1968. This friend, me and my friend, sitting in front of our office with talking to the guy which was responsible for production. He was general manager, he was everything. And, you know, asking us, what do you want to do? How is your skill? And, you know, talking this kind of question. And suddenly, the door of the office opens, and the guy comes in with the hair like this, smoking a cigarette, very, very, you know, nervous. And he started yelling on his general director, saying, we don't need here waste time talking, put those two guys to work. And then he slammed the door and he was away.
Was that Ferruccio?
At this point, the general director told us, you just met Ferruccio. And I swear, this was 2 hours after I was at the company the first day. This was something that I will never forget in my life. And then, you know, we started working. I was in a service department with, you know, repairing the cars, assisting the mechanic, because I was an apprentice, you know, and the apprentice of my times, you know, used to be kind of server to the older mechanics. and using, cleaning the tools of the mechanic, washing the engines, helping, being a server, in other words. And this is how I started working at Lamborghini as a mechanical apprentice. And then slowly, over the years, I became a mechanic, and then I became a test driver, and then here we are. I stayed exactly 40 years at Lamborghini as an employee, and I had to retire in 2008 because 40 years work and 60 years age, 100 was the time to retire according to the Italian laws of those days. And then I kept on being a consultant, a Lamborghini consultant, for 6 more years, so altogether 46 years with Lamborghini officially. And now I am kind of independent consultant, I am on my own, and with a couple of friends from my times, we restore the cars that we built 50 or 60 years ago. And it is no more a job or no more a necessity. First of all, it's a passion, it's a pleasure, and it's a joy, I would say. Because despite 50 years or more, I'm still in love with Lamborghini. Even if we are now, I always say, we are still married, but we sleep in different beds. This is what I say to make things clear, And, one thing that happened, which is really touching, a few months ago I was disassembling a Miura to be restored completely, and my friend of my time started on the same years, 50 years more together. He was disassembling the engine very close to me, and he calls me, say, "Come here, have a look." And inside the engine block was my signature, which we used to do with an electric pen. Each one of us was making his stamp or name or initials or something, which was not a request from the company, was something that each of us did. So imagine after 60 years to find a Miura engine with my signature. I mean, it's something that I don't know how many people in the world can say the same thing. And this is another of those situations where I keep motivated, and you as a customers, as a devoted to Lamborghini, gives me the petrol to keep my engine running. Thank you very much for listening to me.
Thank you, Valentino. Guys, what we're going to do now is a sort of a Q&A. So I think if we can just go maybe one table at a time, and if you guys can just ask him any question about his time at Lamborghini, and then he can answer you like that. Let's maybe just start. Do you guys have something here? Somebody from...
Hello, Ray.
Just a simple question that I just wanted to find out. Was it true that you, in your generation when you were a test driver, did you drive every single car before it went to a client? Is that how it would work?
On my times, we had three test drivers,
Okay.
and 3 test drivers taking care of the whole production. And one senior test driver, which was my tutor, my instructor, was taking care of the development, research and development, which is called today research and development. And I would say in 3 test drivers, we took care of the whole production. So I don't know how many cars or which one, but in 3, we did the whole production for 15, 20 years.
And being a test driver, like what would that entail exactly? Would it be only at the end of the generation when the cars would come off the production line? Is that when you would get involved to make sure everything was okay with the cars, or what did it entail exactly?
Well, the production test driver has to check if everything works the way it's supposed to be. The development test driver has to develop a prototype, which is a completely different thing. When I started, I was production test driver and service department test driver. And this is why, and where I met so many customers, and still today, I meet people customers that I met many years ago when we delivered the car. The test driver, production test driver, has to make sure that everything works perfect. Let's say one thing. Today, the quality of the cars in general is so high and so accurate that it's very difficult to find something which is not the way it has to be. On my times, every car was different from the other one. Car come out of production from the same guys who build the engines, the same guys who assemble the car, but there is no one car same as the other one. on those days. Today the gap is very small, but on my days the gap was much bigger. You know? But always on the, let's say, on the tolerance, always the way it was supposed to be. See, the test driver was the one in charge of finding out the problems, engine oil leaks, performance, braking, transmission, kind of first running of everything. Because the engine was tested on the dynamometers as it is today, but my time the quality was different from today. So many times we had oil leaks, we had something broke down, because the dynamometer is one thing, but the real thing is when you are on the car and you are on the road.
Somebody else? Go on.
Valentino, how do you get a car named after you? Balboni car, how's it named after you? How do you get to that position?
Well, this is one of the other things which I never thought about. I was already retired in 2009, and I was driving on a Millas in Argentina. I want to make very short. I was driving with a journalist on a Lamborghini 400 GT on a rally in Argentina, and actually I have to start a little before. One day the general director of the technical research and development calls me on his office and he tells me, see, here we have a Gallardo on which we took the four-wheel drive system. Now you have 6 months time and 2 engineers to check the car and make the car how you feel, how it should be on a two-wheel drive. And then at the beginning I was afraid because after 15 or more years of four-wheel drive, I was afraid to go back to the two-wheel drive because we all used to be on four-wheel drive, which is easier, nice, and good. Anyway, so I worked 6 months with engineers to tune the car on two-wheel drive. And on February 5, 2009, February 5 is the day in Sant'Agata Day, so the Sanct protecting Sant'Agata. Every village in Italy has a Sanct protecting, Yeah. And Sant'Agata is February 5. Can't forget that. And so they call me upstairs and they tell me, now that you fine-tune the car, we want to show you our intention. Since you are here, since '68, at the beginning of Lamborghini, and you are still here today, we want to use you as a link between the original roots and the modern Lamborghini. And now we want to make 250 cars with your name to recognize your devotion to Lamborghini. And they will be, I mean, there's the way we know, two-wheel drive, and so on. And at this point, I said to the engineer, to the big boss, I said, "Are you joking or are you serious?" And this is when he told me, I never joke when I'm working. Sorry, this was his answer. But you know, this is how the Valentino Balboni edition started in 2009 with the Gallardo. And just before that, when I was driving this rally in Argentina, this technician calls me, which is a friend, calls me and he asked me which was the original colors, the colors you like more on a Miura, on the first Lamborghini. And I said, well, you know, which kind of question are you doing? I mean, I am here from the other side of the world, driving a car, and you ask me these silly questions. And then he calls me again and he said, you have to write your name on a page, on a piece of paper, and fax it to me. This was going on. And then after I understood why he wanted my name, because they wanted to scan the name and put the name on the car. And this is how it happened with the Valentino Balboni, more or less.
So the original Balboni is a manual rear-wheel drive. Only later on did the factory then change more to e-gear because the public wanted easier driving.
Yes. It was supposed to be manual, but then, you know, the dealers started to send letters. No, in this country we prefer manual, electric, so, you know, they had, practically there are 19 cars manual and the others are e-gear.
It must be worth something.
Yes, I know. Yeah. I don't know if you have some other question, yeah.
The Countach, how do you pronounce it? That's my first question. Second
Countach.
question, it had a
Countach.
Countach.
Yeah.
Countach.
Countach.
Don't touch.
Countach.
And it had a reputation of not handling very well. What was your impression?
No, well, like the first Countach, the LP400, the first version we built 150 units only. Well, it was a little difficult because, yes, it was a little difficult because, you know, we developed a system which was completely new. I mean, tubular frame with tubes everywhere. We had the best tires on those days, but very high profile tires, Michelin and, you know, 215, 70, and so very high profile tires. And the problem was the weight of the engine very high. So, you know, practically we had always kind of oversteer, even if on a straight, you know. You had always to, because the weight of the car, the weight of the engine was embarrassing somehow. But, you know, we survived. We built 150 cars, which are today worth millions of dollars, euro. And yes, it was a little difficult to fine-tune the frame because it was a new experience for everybody. But the car had the best brakes on those days, which are ridiculous. But it was the best brakes, the best tires, and we survived. We did it. Yeah. And then finally, on the second version, Pirelli, after a lot of pressure from Lamborghini, developed low-profile tires, which was the famous old Pirelli P7, you know, low-profile tires, which went on the Tommaso Pantera, same dimension, and this changed the world because we modified the suspension, we put bigger brakes, you know, the car really changed. And today the Countach is an icon. Is uncomfortable, difficult to drive, but everybody would love to have one.
It's like a
wife. It's like your wife. It's like his wife.
Oh, yeah. Congratulations. Yeah. And this is another small, at the company, I was the one who developed the system of sitting outside to reverse with the car. I was sitting outside, and my engineer never wanted me to do that because he said, too dangerous, you crash a car, don't do that. No, but I did. And I think today many of you does the same way.
The V12, the doors are
Door open, engage the gear, you can reach the pedals easy. You hang on an engine, on the steering, and then on an engine on a profile on the roof, and then you can maneuver, you can go. And this is a big show, and even today, after 50 years, I go in a different place with a Countach. I need to park, I open the door, sit down, and everybody's still. It's part of the Countach.
I don't want to get a fine. Has Ferrari ever tried to headhunt you?
Sorry?
Has Ferrari ever tried to headhunt you?
Good question. Yes, yeah. It was a period that, they contacted me to be part of Ferrari. So I went a couple of times for meetings, but at a certain point, I had the feeling and I realized that they really didn't want me to be Ferrari, but they wanted to take me out of Lamborghini. This is what I had the feeling, so I said, no, thank you very much.
Bravo.
Well done.
If you could only have one Lamborghini, which one would you have?
They are all my kids. I love
but
them
choose
all.
only one.
I became a test driver September 5, 1973, and my first car I took out of the road by myself after a year training with my tutor was a Miura. I was 22, and 22 on a road with a Miura, it's something that you will never forget. I was before with a senior test driver, driving with him, but first time I was in front of the bar at the gate, and the guy, push the button and the bar's open and I go out. By myself, I was feeling so bad. I was feeling I can't make it. But then slowly, we understood each other, and I think we did a good job. It was a Miura. Miura, let's say, is my first love. From the emotional point of view, is my preferred.
Have you still got any Lamborghinis in your personal collection?
Sorry?
Have you still got any Lamborghinis as part of your personal collection?
No. I never had a Lamborghini. No. Lamborghini in Italy are very expensive, insurance, petrol, whatever. No.
Everywhere it's the same.
I know, but I cannot afford
Especially insurance.
a Lamborghini. I am lucky that still today I can drive Lamborghini almost every day because I'm restoring the car, I'm checking the cars, I'm inspecting cars for customer. So, I don't really need. I would love to own a Miura, but it will never happen. I drive a Gallardo, Valentino Balboni, which is, it's not legally mine, but the owner, a Swiss family, keeps the car in Italy. And I can drive the car when I need to go to some event, not every day because it's expensive. but I see I have a Gallardo which I can use. Not mine, but I can use it. Yeah.
Is it manual though?
Manual, of course. tell you the story of this car, which is maybe interesting. You know, when the first owner bought this car, he wanted me to go to the company to deliver the car and sign the car for him. This was a Greek, a customer from Greece. And this guy was he was a collector, and he was twice a year. He used to invite all 20 of his friends on a racetrack. One time in Spain, one time in Germany, one time, you know, in different racetrack, inviting 20 friends, and he was bringing 20 of his cars, and the Gallardo was also there, and I was one of the lucky invited to go driving the cars. And I was always telling him, one day, when you want to sell this car, I have somebody interested to buy the car. And he always told me, as long as I have a piece of bread, I will never sell this car. Okay. Practically after a few years, a big, financial crisis came to Greece.
Yes,
the euro and so was a problem. No, not euro, but he was in a lot of trouble. And then he got me a call. He called me and he said, Valentino, are you still interested? I said, okay, let me call, the guys which interested in the car. The guys immediately said, okay, no problem. Go and pick up the car in Spain, because the car was in Spain at the racetrack. So I went in Spain, and the day after the car was on a track coming to Italy. And then I changed the oil, I did some tuning, and the car is still running. Yes.
Can I just comment on that? Can you guys hear how Valentino pronounces Gallardo? Not how we do, Gallardo.
Gallardo, normally we say Gallardo. Yeah. Gallardo.
You can hear the L's.
Gallardo, sì.
I think maybe can we have one more question and call it a night for that?
Yeah.
So, you've been spending some time driving the STO on this tour with Enzo.
Yeah.
Over the evolution of Lamborghini and your time with Lamborghini, do you believe they maintain that vision? Especially after the new ownership and stuff, are they still in the same culture of what Lamborghini was originally, or do you see a change?
On my opinion, I think so. I think they're keeping the same, let's say, passion, way, mentality. But we have also to consider another thing, that the modern company today, follows the old, let's say, principles, the old heritage, but on a modern way, When I talk to my friends, yes, they are happy, they are still very proud to be working for Lamborghini, they are happy to be there, but today everything is more strict. Let's say, quality, to get quality, you have sections, you go from here to here was another one. So it's no longer as it was on my time that we had to do everything, I think they still follow, they say, the DNA of Ferruccio Lamborghini. When I drive modern cars, I always say, Jesus, how could we have built those cars on those days compared to those ones? Today you hit the brakes and you brake, but you immediately stop. In my times with the Countach, especially, before braking, you had to do like this. We survived, but completely different philosophy. To say my philosophy or the modern philosophy, which one is the best, which one is the right one, I don't know. I can't tell you which one. I always say I will never change my times with the modern times, because those belongs to me, I belong to them. and I have a lot of respect for the modern technology, for the people who built and developed those cars today, because, you know, on my times, 10 engineers doing everything. Today there are 120 engineers working at Lamborghini to develop the car. You see the result, you see the performance, you see the brakes, and still sometimes there are small problems. But you know, mechanics still today is not, it's not perfect. I think will never be perfect.
How much must we pray driving the Diablo?
How much? No, the Diablo is already a second step. No, the Diablo is, you know, from the Countach we learned a lot, because the Countach teached us a lot of things which on the Diablo have been been solved. So the Diablo still, you know, the first model 1991 is okay, but the following models are beautiful cars to ride, you know. And the Diablo, I think, will be the next future Lamborghini to pick up the value which really deserves.
Can we buy yours now?
$1 million.
Last question from me. It's not a car-related question, but in the last few days, what's your experience with the roads you've driven in South Africa versus some of the roads in Italy, such as the Stelvio Pass and the Amalfi Coast?
Good. Well, let's say those roads we did on these days, I mean, they are astonishing, definitely. Very nice, beautiful. We have similar roads in Europe, in Italy, in Germany also. But here is different. I mean, I had different feelings, different sensation. The way you drive, you know, passing always is not possible. I mean, you always find a place to go. You know? And this was sometimes embarrassing me. But I did. I mean, I learned. You know, it's always something to learn, you know, every day. And I'm very happy when I go to sleep. I said, okay, today I learned something. No, I mean, it's very, very nice. I liked it. I liked it very much, you know. I'm not a saint, I tell you, even in Italian. But, you know, try to... I enjoyed very much. You know,
it's a new word you must learn, footsack. Just learn the word footsack. And you won't feel bad.
No, we want to feel good, and we want to enjoy, and we want to be happy, and, you know, enjoy life and enjoy our cars, our passion.
Very last, Valentino, thanks very much. You know, I had a privilege of meeting you on Sunday, and we had a little bit of a chat about when you told me you've driven Ferraris, you've driven Lamborghinis. Now, based on very, you know, long history, we all know, you know, when Lamborghini was born between the Enzo Ferrari and Lamborghini. But in your experience over the years, because you've driven all these Italian cars, why do you believe that Lamborghini is superior to Ferrari?
Base roads, funny.
Okay, let's start from this point. Lamborghini, Ferrari, Maserati, Pagani, you know, all those Bugatti on those days, we always used to make comparison tests. It means that we used to get cars from the competitors and test, go on the proving grounds, and everybody does. You know, Lamborghini and Ferrari, for example, are let's say, the two most challenging cars. Each one is his own temperament and character, you know, personality. Let's say this way, you love beautiful blonde girls, and I love beautiful dark-haired girls. You know, this is you know, the difference. I mean, each car has its own temperament. Lamborghini wanted always to be extreme. He never wanted to be similar, or he wanted to be completely opposite. That's the rule. This was his character and temperament. See, when we developed the Countach, so edges, you know, so something everywhere, edges, spoiler, whatever, was against every rule. And the Countach, but it was astonishing. He broke the rule before, you know, smooth line, friendly lines. Countach is an impressive car. Is something that make you feeling, oh, what is this? You know, and this was the spirit of Ferruccio Lamborghini. Always be different. But you know, if we talk about performance in terms of performance, you know, each one swims on his water, we say. But you know, look at the performance. You know, each one tries to do better. When a new model comes, okay, then the other one tries to do it better. And this is a kind of competition which brings benefit to the Ferrari owners and the Lamborghini owners.
Thank you.
So basically the best way to sum that up is that you either want the hot girl that fucks badly or the ugly girl that fucks like a tiger.
You don't want me to answer that question.
Ross, would you like to say anything?
No, not Jason's question. Which product's better? I'm standing at a Lamborghini event. That's all I need to say. Valentino, grazie. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I would love to thank you again for your kindness, for your hospitality. It's a pleasure to be here, and please keep loving Lamborghini, and I will help you from my side.
We were only going to do this tomorrow night, but I thought with the occasion of tonight, it's fitting. Put your hand down. I can also find 1,000 rands, 2,000, so I can do the accent also, 3,000. So as you guys know, we came up with this idea. We actually copied another rally in the States, and I just love what they did. And I had all of you guys who partook in this event sign this. We're going to auction out the 4 off tomorrow night. But this Valentino I want to give as a gift to you from all of us. And I hope you remember and cherish this rally for the rest of your days. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bravo, bravo.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Grant. Thank you, Valentino.